This episode of Old Gold Tech is brought to you by Simplicity. For all your web design and social media needs, go to simplicitymarketing.com.
Hello and welcome to another very, very exciting edition of Old Gold Tech. Are you excited?
I am mega excited.
Can you even remember what we're going to be talking about today?
Not a clue.
Was it around when you were at school?
Yes, but I don't remember
But
it.
you weren't allowed to play with it?
No.
As well, I was. Welcome to another edition of Old Gold Tech. Okay, so today's show is about a six-wheeled beast.
It's
is something that I absolutely adored and loved as a child, even though I only got to play with it at least 5 or 6 times in my primary school career, as it were.
Just at school?
It was a treat. It was locked away in a cupboard. Every now and then it came down. It was just brilliant. And, you know, there was no better reason to do your maths homework, which was very basic back then, obviously.
And what are we talking about?
We are, of course, talking about Big Trak.
This is Big Trak, the computer-activated truck from MB Electronics. Program in up to 16 commands, and Big Trak will advance, turn, and fire 3 blasts. Big Trak follows its instructions and can maneuver around every obstacle to complete its mission. Program it, and Big Trak obeys.
Well done, Big Trak.
Big Trak from MB Electronics.
What is Big Trak?
Big Trak is a 6-wheeled vehicle, little toy that was made in 1979, and it was a programmable toy. So you had to get it out, put your batteries in, and start programming it to tell it which direction to go, forwards, backwards, left,
But
right.
that was all, it was numerically balanced, wasn't it?
Yes,
so it was.
it was.
Forward 4, that would have a measure, so each unit of forward would be so many
And
centimetres.
one unit is the length of itself.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
that...
it's the length of itself. So forward 1 is moving myself 1 time.
So
forward.
so the teacher would often get it out and go, right, here's a gauntlet for it.
There you
Program
go.
it around this chair, and you go, maybe we need to go 5 forwards, then we need to turn left this far, round to this many degrees, then it will go forwards again.
Yep.
But it was just a genius toy, and it looked really cool as well, because it didn't look like an educational toy. It wasn't. I don't think it was ever made just to be a solely educational toy.
But it made you think.
It made you think. It
Yeah.
made you were developing your skills. I suppose
Mathematics,
mathematics,
geographic,
awareness,
yeah, all that kind of
spatial
thing.
awareness,
Yeah,
and stuff.
absolutely.
And it didn't look like something that would be boring to kids. It was
But
very
for something to
postmodernist.
pro-
Look, it
well,
would look like something out of Transformers.
For
or something.
1979, I mean, I think it was one of the first toys to come out that was computer programmable, so you could play around with it, and I think it was good for education for kids and stuff like that. I never had one of these things, even though it was brought out when I was a kid. But you were what?
I would have been 4
How
or
old?
5 because
So-
I was born in
oh, right.
1980.
So it's interesting because I had a look at the manual, Big Trak, and it's not the most easy thing to sort of work out. So as a child of 4, I think kids are easy.
Yeah, we didn't have the
to
book
sort them
though.
out. So you just have to program it to
Well,
do things.
well, kids always pick stuff up faster
Yeah,
than adults anyway. But
that's true.
the teacher would just go. It probably wasn't 4 or 5. We were at 6. I don't know, but
Even so,
a year might matter to my development. But well, yeah, you jot in the numbers and whatnot, and
off it went.
But it didn't go.
It was really slow. And we actually have one to show you today.
And it's not a remake.
No, they remade them in 2010 under license, and they created it to make it look exactly the same as the original MB product. But we have to say a big thank you for the original one to Jason Fitzpatrick at the Centre for Computing History over in Cambridge, because he provided this to us. So we promise we won't break it, Jason.
Might break it.
Yeah, that's the original, isn't it?
It might already be broken.
Okay, well, we have put batteries in it, and we're going to show you some footage a little bit later of us actually trying to program it around the studio.
Yeah,
Should be
so
good
that
fun.
is something to look forward to.
Big
Right.
Trak facts. Big Trak facts.
Big Trak facts. Big Trak was featured on the movie E.T.
Yes, in 1982, and we've got a screenshot for you, and it's actually a picture of Drew Barrymore, and in the background there's an American version of Big Trak, which we should talk about. 2 versions of Big Trak.
Maybe later on in Drew Barrymore's career, she used the Big Trak to bring her drugs and men.
Probably could bring drugs. I'm not sure if it could drag a person.
I
Maybe that's
I
a test
actually
for
quite fancy
later.
Drew Barrymore, so
Fair enough.
if that does get to you.
And Drew, if you're watching, because I know you follow us on Twitter, you don't really. We've been pestering you.
Yeah, but
let's
I do
move
really
on.
fancy you, so I don't mean anything by that. And
Let's move on. So
Big Trak was a
facts.
6-wheel toy that could be drove forward, backward, turn, and fire a photon cannon.
Not a real one, a pretend one. And this one works on this original unit.
Were
which
there
is
2
funny.
different Big Traks.
Yes, they were. Yeah, one in the US and one in the UK.
And I bet the US had a nuclear warhead in it.
Yes, it did. Yeah, no, it was no different apart from size. It was exactly the same. It did the same things. It was just the colour was slightly different. I think the US version was grey in colour, had capital letters for the Big Trak name. UK one was white, had Big Trak in small letters, and the keyboards are slightly different. And we'll show you a couple of pictures of the difference of them because I couldn't understand them. Because the manual is the US version, and the unit we have is the UK. Bit odd, but there you go. What else about Big Trak?
It was, of course, made by Milton Bradley, who are MB Games, who brought you such games as Twister. The slightly weird, slightly you get too close to your relative's game.
Ooh, a bit sweaty.
Connect 4.
Yeah.
And also one that I used to like, which was called Downfall.
Oh,
it's not not anything to do with Hitler in that film that came out. It was to do with you turned it and then tokens dropped down.
MB Games though, brilliant.
Really quite basic.
Yeah, but addictive.
Basic.
And MB Games are owned now by
I don't know.
Hasbro.
Transformers. Makes 3 crap films.
Yeah, let's not talk about the films.
Let's not talk about the last one because I went to see it the other day while I was stranded in a weird town on my own for 7 hours, and I went to the cinema to watch that. And I must admit, even though the sound design's good, it's badly edited and the narrative doesn't even work. And anything that's got Michael Bay on the front of it, I wouldn't watch. Even if I'll go text said, brought to you by Michael Bay, I wouldn't watch it. I don't need to see that. They're soulless robots, they're a bunch of gears. No.
Thanks for that. So that was a movie review of Transformers, cunningly disguised as a review of Big Trak.
Yes, now the problem with the Big Trak was that because it had no LCD screen or no LED, no LCD screen, no readout.
No display at all.
Whatsoever. So if you put all your numbers in, you either had to have a pen and paper or whatever to write them down what you'd done.
Yeah.
Or you just had to take pot luck on it. So it was in E.T. If E.T. had used it to get home, he probably would have ended up in the sun.
Yeah, he would have been destroyed and E.T. would have
Or on Saturn's ring, going round and round.
So Big Trak can only remember 16 steps, apparently. So it's really clever. It will remember them all, and as Nick said, it will append the new moves on top of that. But you can clear the memory and you can start again. So we're going to cut away in a minute to some interesting footage of us trying to get this thing working. Not sure if we're going to get it working, but we'll see. We'll get an obstacle course set up for it or something like that. What else?
A ramp up to make it jump things.
Quite a few batteries in this thing. So there's a PP9 volt battery for the computer itself, which controls all the sort of memory and locations and stuff like that on the programming side. And then there's 4 D-type batteries that fit inside it. So it weighs quite a bit as well. And apparently it was prone to sort of breaking down, broken axles, battery corrosion, and these type of things couldn't be really fixed.
We never broke ours at school, but I can imagine if you break one of those axles, it'll just go around in a circle.
Yeah, because it relies on the motion sensors, I think, in the actual wheels themselves to detect when it stops and turn left and right. But there was no motion sensors in this thing, so you had to keep it away from furniture, pets, small animals.
It didn't go
children.
that fast.
No, but
it's not like it would run your hamster over.
You could do.
No, it really doesn't go.
Well, we're not going to try that because we're hamster lovers here, you know. Not that way. Anyway, so
do what you want with them.
Okay.
Just don't tell me about that.
Right.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So.
Yes. That's it. I think.
I think that's all the facts on the Big
facts.
Trak. So
let's stop talking about facts. Let's get onto Big Trak and let's show you what it does.
Let's get down and dirty on this clean wooden floor. Right, so you now join us on the laminate floor. Big Trak has just beeped there to tell me that he's on, and I haven't used him. Let me just give you a guided tour of Big Trak. This was a very, very sturdy toy. As you can see, it has Go Faster stripes down the side there. Very postmodern look. It looks as though it should have been a toy from some sort of film. So maybe, you know, films of the time, Star Trek or whatever, no, Star Wars and whatnot. It looks as though it should have been a project from maybe a big film or marketing thing, but they didn't seem to do anything. I think it was just a standalone product. Let's have a look around it. Okay, this is the... Are you ready? The internal workings of Big Trak. Not a 9-volt battery, but that's what powers his brain. Now, he's getting old now because he's been around the block a few times. Okay, this little hole here is where you plug in his trailer. Yeah, Big Trak had a trailer, and if you plugged it in there, a little electrical signal from there would report back to the trailer and make it... Now, bear with me here. It made it drop its load. Yep, you could carry around your favourite He-Man toys, sweets, pants, and whenever you got to your required destination, you could fire Big Trak's this here, and it would drop Big Trak's load, which sounds quite funny. Right. As you can see, 3 wheels on each side. If one of these axles goes, this bad boy's just going to turn around on its own. Not what you want to happen. And most elderly Big Traks probably do suffer from this. This is the all-powerful photon laser. This can literally do nothing. Here we have the control unit, of course, which is sort of like a calculator, obviously, so times 2 the movement or whatnot. This is its on switch, which is a big, powerful, chunky switch, which is really, really cool, and actually does make you feel like you're turning something on. Yes! So, I'll turn it on now, so it's activated. There's no noise to say, yep, I'm turned on or whatever like that. I'm turned on. Don't want it to do that anyway. Right, so, I'm clearing its memory now, which is CM. Now, as you can see, forward, left, right, forward, left, right, down, reverse. Well, what you do is you press forwards 1. I want it to go 1 times the length of Big Trak. Yep. So each unit is the length of itself. Then I want it to turn 15 degrees. Then I want it to turn another 15 degrees. Then I want it to turn another 15 degrees. And I want it to go once forward. Then I want it to fire its beam at the end. Now, what you're going to see here is hopefully Big Trak go round and do a little demo. Now, sometimes Big Trak can be temperamental, so you have to bear with us. Every time we turn the camera off, Big Trak works. Okay, but every time we turn the camera on, Big Trak doesn't feel too happy. So, let's see what happens. I'm going to press go now. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's not funny. I've got to clear the memory. I've got to do it again. Oh dear.
So as you can see, Nick is reprogramming and cleaning out the memory once again. And it may work this time. I'm excited. Yes, come on, yes!
Yes!
No,
success!
Fire its laser.
You want me to fire its laser?
At the end.
Alright,
That should
okay.
work.
You might be able to
See how much fun kids had back in the 70s? Yes! Success!
See, Big Trak was a hell of a lot of fun, and for kids in schools, where I think they had a lot of these, it was a perfect way of developing kids' spatial awareness and basically getting into electronics, which is no bad thing.
Big Trak brings you TP!
Okay, so that was a lot of fun.
Big Trak. You
9
gotta
volt
love Big
fun.
Trak. 9 volt fun. I don't know how long these batteries would last in Big Trak actually. I suppose if they were going up ramps and into rivers and across terrain, no, it doesn't work.
No, you can't do that.
No.
But as you can see,
Yes.
it is a very, very cool toy.
Love Big Trak.
As well as you've not noticed, as we've been programming and playing around with the Big Trak, you might have been into its noises and what it does. Now there is a app for you to get a Big Trak calculator, which is genius, and it works as a calculator, but at the same time you can also hear the noises of Big Trak, which are inviting and soothing, especially after a hard day at work.
Oh. There you
Yes.
go. Almost a tune there. We'll put a link here to where you can get that app.
Yeah, Big Trak calculator, it's free, it's a lot of fun. And it's also better than the standard calculator that's supplied with the iPad, because
Yes.
it's more fun. And
It's lovely. We love it.
Right, okay, some things to talk about, some housework. Firstly, thank you to some people who have reviewed the show over the last few weeks.
Thank you very much.
For me pestering them to do it.
Yes.
That is, you don't understand how much it means just to have that, because it helps raise the profile of the show, and that is good for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do appreciate all
because we want the word to spread.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
You're on Twitter now.
I'm on Twitter now after so long of not understanding what it was about, or not really seeing why you would want to do that.
Bit of a
I
lull.
have a Twitter account. You will see it's been created quite a long time ago, but I don't use it.
Here it is.
Nick Jomo, which is, it's all my name in one go. NICJOMO. Not Nick Homo, Nick Jomo. Okay, so I want people to join that, so then they can hear my ramblings. I don't just discuss tech because I'm not that sort of person, as well. Neil does know a lot more about that. So follow me, because I'm starting to get into Twitter, and I love it when people respond back to me and stuff. So
you can see Nick's Twitter account here, just in case you missed it.
let's get together.
Don't forget, you can also contact us at our own Twitter account, which is Old Gold Tech, and you'll see Nick's tweets and retweets and stuff for
They're
that
flying
as
around.
well. Yep.
Like a knife attack.
Facebook page, because the group is now dead.
Dead, deceased.
Ex-Facebook page, group, sorry, and we want people to come to the Facebook page, and you'll see it here. A big shout out again to Jason Fitzpatrick, as you can see here. So thanks to everybody who's supporting us at the moment. We are going to try and really try and get a few more shows out, either little shows like this or some more elaborate workings that we've got in the pipeline, which are more outdoor features. But we want to try and get a little bit more frequent, but it's tough. And this is why it's tough, because we both have full-time jobs.
We did try and film a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And
it was a bit rubbish.
It was a bit rubbish, and I was really tired. And then we got surrounded by cows in the field. And
It
there
was
is
frightening.
pictorial evidence of this. And
Yes.
we had to jump over a barbed wire fence to escape the cows.
Yeah, I mean, Attack of the Killer Cows. And the weather's not been great, so we don't want to make excuses, but we do try and get some more shows out.
We try.
For you. We're trying.
But we do appreciate you hanging around, and that's why I want you to join my Twitter
Yes.
account, because it means that I can keep you all warm.
And fuzzy. The other thing is, as well, is we would like to hear from you. And don't forget, you can get to us on email or the Facebook page. If you've got ideas for retro tech that you want to be featured on this show, if you have a toy that you loved, if you had a piece of kit that you couldn't live without when you were a youngster, and you may still have it now, just let us know and we'll try and get it and feature it like we've done today with Big Trak. Good fun.
Big Trak.
So thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you very soon.
I'm going to play us out.
You're going to play us out
I'm going to
now
play
on
us
a
out
tune?
with the Big Trak calculator.
Yeah, so here's Nick's new theme tune for All Gold Tech, Big Trak Calculator.
Bye, Big Trak! My life will never be the same without you. My automatic wheel machine. Have to replace you with something.
Thank God, these guys are dicks.